last time on New Hope. With the help of Bulma, future Gohan was able to set everything right in his own timeline. Almost. Since Trunks died in another timeline, neither Shenron or Porunga are able to help in this situation. There's also the matter of Goku and Piccolo still being in Otherworld, but that's a story for another day. Today, Gohan ventures back to the timeline where only the brother he never knew he had managed to survive Perfect Cell. The man from the future. After their thrilling and intense fight against the powerful and menacing Cell, the spiteful return of the evil villain would ultimately and decisively prove his final undoing. At first, Cell had managed to defeat all of our determined and courageous heroes, but then leaving the planet seemingly in a fragile and temporary state of peace. One that came at the cost of Krillin stepping up as its lone and unlikely protector. 3 long years have now passed since the catastrophic defeat of Cell, a triumph achieved through Krillin's unparalleled bravery and selfless sacrifice. The one warrior the bioandroid never thought in his wildest calculations or assumptions could ever stand a chance against him. It was he who had proven to be his downfall. By eliminating the seemingly invincible Perfect Cell, Krillin, alongside the youthful and determined Goten, ensured the safety of Earth and its countless inhabitants. Peace had reigned over the planet once again, creating a welcome respite for everyone. But for how much longer can this fragile tranquility truly last?
The 20-year time jump is a success. Year 783 reached. Depressurization complete.
Arriving in the past, he says to himself, I see. Bulma really outplanned, even to the point of making me land in one of the areas least affected by the cyborgs. I'm going to conceal my key and try to analyze the current situation. But feeling something totally unexpected. How is this possible? The entire world population seems to be here. Continuing to speak to himself, I don't understand. The time machine was clear. I did reach year 783. I thought I would find a world decimated by the cyborgs, but I guess all our predictions were wrong. But what could have happened to this timeline? I'll have to figure this out later. I have to find a familiar key to find out more. Spotting someone. That key. That's awesome! I'll soon have all the answers to my questions. Just like he did previously when first coming back to life in the future timeline. He notices from a distance this period's version of his mother busily tending to some laundry. It seems that the habit of talking to oneself aloud is something that runs deeply in their family, as she casually announces to no one in particular that after handling just one more sheet, she'll head inside and start preparing for tonight's dinner. Today marks Goten's very last day of school before the much-anticipated summer holiday begins. She can only hope he hasn't conveniently forgotten his promise to help out by working in the fields this time around. There's absolutely no way she's going to let him waste yet another entire summer break glued to his screen, endlessly playing those damn video games. He's too old for all that childish nonsense now. He's outgrown it and it's time he starts acting like it. As she continues her rambling monologue, completely absorbed in her thoughts, he steps forward with a soft landing, his feet tapping lightly on the ground to announce his presence. With an almost wistful tone, he quietly utters, "You're here, Mom." Hearing the voice but not fully recognizing it, she instinctively closes her eyes, turning towards him with a warm smile, mistakenly greeting him as if he were Goten. Her words come easily as she asks in a cheerful and expected tone, "Goten, you're back! How was your last day of school?" But Goten? That's a name he's never heard before. He takes a step forward and corrects, It's me, son Gohan. This is going to sound strange, but I come from 20 years in the future." When Chi-Chi realizes her mistake, with tears welting up, she cries, Gohan? Before she can say another word, the overwhelming shock proves too much. She faints on the spot. Gohan runs over to his mom to see if she's okay. He props her up gently against the nearest tree, ensuring she's comfortable. A quick glance at her breathing reassures him that she's fine, but it's also clear she's going to be unconscious for at least a few minutes. He mutters under his breath, "Darn, I'm going to have to wait for Mom to come to her senses before I can get any more information." Given her reaction, it's not hard to deduce that I also died in this reality. With the world at peace, this means that the cyborgs have surely been neutralized. I imagine that Trunks and our alter egos from this Earth have probably sacrificed their lives to achieve this. If that's the case, the only remaining threat would be Cell, still in gestation inside Jiro's lab. Then hearing something plop down behind him. It's a bag. But where did it fall from? Looking closer, it reads New Hope High School. Who the heck is he? Finally creating some distance, Gohan raises his hands defensively, his expression concerned and urgent as he pleads for the stranger to listen. He steps back cautiously, hoping to de-escalate the situation before it spirals further out of control. "Stop attacking! It's a misunderstanding!" he says, his voice sincere. But his resiliency only serves to infuriate Goten all the more, his frustration building with every failed strike. He clenches his fist tightly, his mind racing with questions. Who is this guy and how is he able to parry all of his attacks with such ease? Goten's eyes narrow as they catch a detail that only deepens his confusion and anger. The gi the stranger's wearing. It's unmistakable. That design is the exact same one Master Krillin always wore. The same one his dad used to wear in all the photos he's seen. Why would this mysterious fighter be dressed like this? Again, Gohan reasons. "I don't know who you are, but you're making a mistake. I didn't come here with bad intentions." Though Goten hollers for the intruder not to mess with him. "All I know is that you came after my family." "What? Your family?" "And you're going to pay dearly for it." Jumping to the first stage of Super Saiyan, Gohan stammers. You're Saiyan?" Either ignoring or unable to hear. "I'm going to end you!" "What? Hold on a minute!" "Yeah!" "Damn, no choice!" When he stopped dead in his tracks by his disgruntled mother, she dominantly demands Goten to stop that right now. She immediately explains, "That's your big brother. That's Gohan. I fainted when I first saw him. That's why I was unconscious when you got back." "What? Huh?" Unfortunately, Goten doesn't believe this. He argues, "That's impossible and you know it. Son Gohan died 16 years ago. It can't be him. It's a trick, Mom." An alarming realization dawns on Gohan, sending a chill through him. In his own timeline, he had died in his early 20s, but the implications of Goten's words strike hard. This timeline's Gohan must have died when he was barely 10 or 11 years old. Despite Goten's protests and fierce objections, Chi-Chi's intuition remains resolved, and her maternal instinct doesn't falter for even a second. No matter how many years have passed or how much older he looks, she knows she could never mistake someone else for her own son. With tears still beating, she looks at Gohan as if searching his face for proof, her voice trembling but certain. Gohan softens, offering a small, apologetic smile. "I'm sorry," he says, his tone gentle. "I didn't mean to scare you earlier." She comments on how much he's grown, and the last time she saw him he was only 10, further asking what that scar on his face is. Starting to believe it himself, Goten, still in Super Saiyan mind you, finds himself taken aback. Is that really him? A bit awkwardly, Chi-Chi smiles. "You've already met, but here's son Goten. He's your 16-year-old brother who's just finished his first year of high school," imploring him not to be shy and to introduce himself to his big brother. As Gohan tries to be the first to break the ice, Goten just can't let go of the idea that this isn't really Gohan. To him, this stranger is nothing more than a dangerous imposter, someone who could harm the people he cares about most. As preposterous as it sounds, a dark, sinister presence must have made a wish on the Dragon Balls and stole Gohan's body. Slappy the thought out of him. His mother scolds, "What kind of attitude is that? Get back to your normal self and behave as you should." She requests Gohan's forgiveness as she raised his little brother alone, and he inherited her bad temper. Of course, even future Gohan is still more or less the same Gohan we know. He nervously laughs and assures it's no worry. He himself is still having trouble realizing he has a little brother. Anyway, nothing's going to stop her from celebrating the fact that her two sons are reunited at last. Absolutely beaming with maternal pride, she ushers the pair into the house. Still apprehensive, Goten wants his brother to explain himself. How did he come back to life? Who explains he was resurrected 3 years ago thanks to the Dragon Balls from New Namek. It's going to be a little long, but he's got a lot to explain to them. Namely the fact he comes from 20 years in the future. After the defeat of Cell in this timeline and the restoration of his own future timeline, Gohan faces significant challenges in resurrecting Trunks and potentially restoring Goten's reality. His brother's mistrust complicates matters. As far as he views it, Gohan is a threat rather than an ally. Still, we're left to wonder just what hurdles lie ahead.